Nice. Hello. Welcome everyone. Today we will be talking about something quite new to myself. This is a VFX tutorial really, but it doesn't really require any specific technical skills, I would say. Someone from my team kind of came across this really amazing plugin, so I just thought might as well give it a review and a kind of freshest look to see how we can use this with the OWL toolkit. Um, so what you can see here, the world that I am in now um, is a fractal space. And I remember that when I was a student, I've always been really interested in fractals. And from what I remember, I don't even know if it's the right scientific kind of explanation of this. Fractals are kind of like errors, kind of multiplying itself. And so if I zoom it out, I guess there's a bit of culling here. We can't really see as clearly. Um, Fractals are kind of patterns that repeat themselves, and a lot of the times we can see that in nature. I would say maybe pyrite is quite similar in structure. There are so many kind of different types of trees, maybe different branches grow the same way, but it's basically for me, it's like an error multiplication thing. Not really sure. But it's really interesting here. So I'm going to switch up back to my Unreal view. So I got really lucky and got my hands on this amazing plugin. I'm currently using 5.2, but if you haven't seen this plugin before, it is called Machina Fractals Essence, and it's the first ever plugin for real-time fractals in Unreal Engine 5. It's a really interesting project, and it comes with a lot of kind of pre-existing assets. There are 30 customizable parameters inside each fractal kind of setting. You can change different colors, emissions. You can also kind of animate these parameters in Sequencer, replace them with different textures, colors, and I suppose also render them inside the game engine or maybe using Movie Render Queue. So I haven't tried anything to do with Movie Render Queue yet, but I just thought what there isn't really a better way to test this but to use our off-world toolkit. I have kind of obsessively started using spout textures. You can stream in different textures. As you can see here, it's pretty tiled. It's using my background. Um, here, but I'm just streaming in my webcam through Spout and using that um, and using that as the texture. So I'm probably not going to explain how you could install this plugin, but it's basically a bunch of assets. You can find this in Marketplace. This is really just an but um, Uberbox brought blueprint, which is a kind of Mandelbrot blueprint. Sorry, my cat is in the background. But what you can see here is that it has a list of parameters that we can alter. And so from here, you can see that these are all things that we can change. And then we can also change things like step factor, colors. So these change to different kind of fractal shapes, I believe. These change the scale of the boxes. You can smooth them out, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna click on maybe an existing map, so we can kind of go straight into the kind of default look. So I'm gonna go for this one. It's really interesting. I'm not gonna save that one. It'll take a while to work. Right, we're in. So this is also super interesting. And I thought it would just be really cool for us to kind of map these, to use this as the backdrop or use this as a workflow for VFX because I've been really inspired by quite a few OWL users using kind of Spout and sending textures around and applying VFX on them and send them back to Unreal. I'm going to do this is kind of like a similar thing, so I'm going to do the same here and maybe replace some of the textures with our off-world ones. So I'm just going to do that now. So in here there are render settings, and I believe this changes. So we're using PBR color mode. In here we can switch this up for render target maybe. And the render target we're using, I believe it's this. So that's me. Slope full of. Yep, I think that's right. And then we're going to change the diffuse texture to the same render target. Still no difference just yet, but just we wait. And maybe we'll change a bit of the emissive texture, which is render target 1. So now maybe we'll start to see something. I guess we are missing the spout receiver. We need that in every level. We need to apply it to this. So now I'm moving in the space. I don't know if you can see here, but my movement is now adding to the kind of fractal quality, which is really, really cool. Yeah, that's great. I kind of do still want something. Yeah, we're still in the kind of like dark shading parts. Kind of want this to be brought out a little more. So I think we can do that. In the emissive, we don't need hue shift or brightness or anything. Emissive orbit track method. Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what these are supposed to mean. I'm just really testing whatever I can now. Emissive texture. Target 1. Now it's probably way too bright, so the emissive intensity should be way lower. And now this is like a VJ set, really. We can basically use our textures as prompts for these fractals to move. And I guess the advanced version of using this could be sending a texture from Touch Designer that's audio reactive, maybe, and then using that to generate different kind of pulses in this fractal. So just moving my camera around. That's super, super cool, I think. Can change the scale of the emissive texture. So what if I go like 0.5? Then it would probably, yeah, the multiplier would make it look quite interesting. The 1 is the normal one. The rotation, yeah, that's fine. And then we've got things like render target. I'm gonna just replace all the textures with this. These are called like my macro variations, so maybe it's introducing differences to the render. But yeah, this is just one way of using it. And if we're not really into this look, we can go for coloring mode that's slope or RGB colors. And once we're in RGB colors, we'll be going through something like this. You can change all the colors, maybe blue, pink. And I think once we change the emissiveness, that might come through. Yeah, this is pretty, this is pretty interesting. Just moving my body around and noticing that this change and this like being animated in a really interesting way. I really like that. Apart from the kind of like slightly shit colors at the moment, don't really have a problem with it. Need to introduce better colors. So I reckon this is probably what we need, color settings. We probably need different kind of orbit trap methods. So we can change, yeah, something like that is brighter, so don't mind that so much. Honestly, just playing around with these parameters, but super cool that this is so easy to use. So, okay, we're done with using this one. Let's go ahead and play with something like a bulb light. So I'm gonna go for, ooh, this one's such a classic fractal. Um, yeah, this one's such a classic one. I'm gonna go into spout receiver again and apply this to this texture. And now I'm gonna alter everything so it becomes that texture. Under target, 1. It's already browned. I should never wear this. Should never wear this jacket. I'm gonna change this to blue. Hopefully it looks better. Emissions, intends. We'll use texture. 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 So I think we're now in as well. And this is looking, let me see. Yeah, we're also kind of altering the different colors of this. Apart from these colors being a bit shit, I'm gonna hopefully change that up a little. How can I brighten this? Emission periods. Yep. Oops, sorry. Move my. That's really cool. I guess it is kind of just sampling the different colors I have. But going back to my favorite one, which I believe is this one. Oh, it hasn't saved properly. We'll just need to find one that works best. So it's starting to be really hard. It's starting to get really hard to kind of navigate inside it. Ooh, very trippy. What if we just go in constantly? Is that more visible? It's not really that visible. Try to find a good look. Nice, I think that's some in. I just need to use our camera now to give it a good focus. Nice. We're back to this. Cool. So, one thing we can try doing today is creating a sequencer. And so what I've done previously is to just open up cinematics level sequence. I'm going to name this fractal stream. What we can do is super simple. All we need to do is do actor to sequencer. This is a VTUBER box brought. We will need to create a track and reference to static mesh. So SM fractal plane is the perfect one. And to get access to its fractal parameters, all we need to do is get to the element 0, which is referring to material element 0. Here we can do different things, and these are all the parameters we can edit in Sequencer. So the first one, I think I've always had some ones that always look good, so I'm going to go for this one. Epsilon. And this really changes like layers in a different way. And I just love visual effects that have that kind of feedback loop look. And so this looks really good. This looks really good here. Meanwhile, we can also change different things, such as maybe some of hue shift and maybe metallic contrast. Just changing these like super randomly. Another one we can try is also maybe loop pi is quite like a cool look. Don't know if we can see it at this angle, but in different angles you might be able to see the difference. Yeah, super cool. So in this case, the quickest way to render really is to use the viewport capture and render out this way. Alternatively, you can also use maybe Cinecam capture to get that that real-time kind of rendering quality. But yeah, for now, this is pretty much just some quick tips to create visual effects inside Unreal Engine. I will probably spend some time studying this plugin and how fractals are made, but for now, I just feel like if we replace this with maybe something like an image, I can change this image up to use maybe like a green screen cat. Um, and now we'll get really cool cat visuals. You might be able to see this green screen cat over here. Um, this is super cool way to kind of like use Spout to send in certain textures and get some really cool effects from that. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you'll get some hopefully you'll get some new inspiration kind of playing with this plugin. But again, just to introduce this, it's the Unreal Engine 3D Fractals. I think this company's also created UE and Octane and some Houdini fractals. Super, super cool. So I'll be kind of studying this a lot more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.